For those of you looking for conscious love, calling in your soul aligned partner at this time, there is more coming in to this energy, this thread that we've been weaving together from the last video, and also inside of our community space, the monthly activation where calling in love is our current theme for integration. So I just wanted to share a couple things that are coming to the surface. Just for me, how I learn is having things be reflected back to me in my environment, and I share them with you. There are a lot of distractions right now. Energetically, in my space right now, which is why I'm filming in the car, but also metaphorically for us who are calling in and attracting the person who is going to best support us on our soul's mission. And there are all kinds of different distractions that are drawing our energy and attention away, including other people who come into the picture resembling something that might be potential or supportive, but may not fully be exactly what you're calling in. And sometimes it's only through interacting and engaging with that energy before you can discern whether this person is in fact your manifestation. And so that degree is going to depend on your individual circumstances, your practice of discernment, and how that all works for you. Just first of all, being mindful of the environment that you're in and recognizing when your intuition tells you that this person or this energy, this theme, this circumstance is a distraction and not actually something here to support your highest timeline of conscious partnership unfolding, to bring awareness to that, right? And then hold it, allow it to be there, and release it. I think that this practice of just cultivating a very simple awareness, the most basic tool almost that we have and yet is so powerful, has helped me navigate a lot of energetic distractions in my environment, not just now having moved into a brand new space and town, but also in the past couple of months leading up to all these big transitions. And I just wanted to share that I've been speaking to a lot of people this last couple of days, making new connections, which has been so wonderful. And a lot of the questions that I've received from these new connections is, how did you end up here? Why did you move here? And my answer consistently has been, I was just following my intuition. I think what's been reflected to me about in the answers of these people is that a shared sense of difficulty in how to actually discern what is the quote unquote right path or the right move or the right place versus what's just noise. And again, I think that comes down to your practice of listening, tuning in, your ability to be receptive, which I know a lot of us are sensitive, self-aware, very introspective, reflective souls. So we don't have any issues like perceiving. We perceive all of the information that's a lot of the times not being said. Collectively, our growth area is not taking in more information. I think we're really adept at that, but that our growth area is actually the boundary, the discernment, the ability to sit with everything that we've taken in and filter through it, process it, and understand what it's truly reflecting back to us. And this is the same process that I went through in getting here. And this is a skill I've been cultivating for at least 6 years now, just consistently trying my very best to live in alignment with my intuition. And it's been incredibly rich and deep learning process. It has not been easy to make these choices. Even just a few months ago, I had no idea that I was going to be moving to a new place after living in the place that I was in for 5.5 years. I had no intentions of leaving. The aha moment, the breaking point for me was I had taken in all of this information that I was collecting over the beginning 6 months of this year and kind of noticing the patterns over time. In the beginning, my practice of intuition started and discernment started with being able to make like moment to moment decisions, like right here, right now. What am I doing? What do I want? It was very instantaneous. And over time, our capacity to hold more information and examine the patterns and the reflections over a stretch of time and in different aspects of life grows. So not only are you just trying to decide in this present moment what is the choice that you want to make and feels most aligned for you, but it's also taking into perspective all the information that's come before that as well. And I think that just takes time and practice to cultivate. And I know that's not exactly the most helpful piece of advice in this moment when you might be sitting with like, I don't know if this is the right decision or the right person, to hear that this is just something that you've had to practice before this moment, that you had to make a choice. However, I will say that anytime you make an intention to connect to your intuition, to receive divine guidance from God, from spirit, it comes in whatever form that you are receptive to it. I think that yes, you can get really, really clear answers from cultivating your discernment abilities, but also if you're really in a crunch right now and you feeling like you need that answer sooner rather than later, trust what you have available to you right now. Again, we've been talking about this theme for a long time now of that destination being just out of reach and kind of that perspective of you not being there, but that's not true. That is not the true reflection of infinite potential in this moment. God is omnipresent, meaning always present and available to assist you, provide guidance and support for you. And so whatever methods or means that you have or capacity that you have right now, God will find a way to communicate with you in a way that you will clearly understand. And even if it just starts from the intention of, or I want or need to receive a sign or a confirmation in a way that I will understand right now, if that's your prayer right now, then that works perfectly. You know, I think I just share the journey and the bigger picture because I know our collective is quite broad. We have people who are really further along on this path and have been cultivating their intuition, and people who have done my courses on listening to your body have had the time to practice those skills. And I'm also speaking to those of you who are newer to this journey and may not be as familiar with this particular skill that I'm talking about. So I just wanted to offer that don't worry if you need to make a decision in the near future, or if something comes your way and you're just like, I just need some clarity on this. Clarity comes always. It's the same way that the sun rises every single day. Light always comes through and pierces through areas of darkness. That's just the way that things work here. I think having compassion as well for where you're at and sitting with the confusion sometimes, being with all the parts that want answers and feel whatever feelings you might be having about not having your answers right now, all of it's valid. And so just being with all of that and holding it with love is how you're gonna melt some of those protective mechanisms that may actually be hiding and concealing the answer from you right now. Urgency is another thing that comes up a lot when we are wanting to call in something very important to us and very important to our hearts, especially something so big as conscious partnership and love that's going to propel us into the next phase of this journey. Yes, that is so huge. And also doing our very best to strike that balance between, okay, I know that this is so important to me and to my life path and for this other person as well. And can I hold that without a sense of urgency? Easier said than done, of course. I mean, I still have plenty of moments where that sort of anxious thought comes up or that sense of urgency comes up, but I don't find that it's about not having these feelings. Pretty much every emotion and even thought, I would say, is like a cloud passing in the sky. It can be normal, it can be natural, and be released on its way if it's not something that you want to hold and identify with and then create from. So I would invite anybody in that space to just be with what's coming up, be with these uncomfortable feelings, be with the urgency, the anxiety, the confusion, the lack of knowing. And it's through the love and the tenderness of holding these parts and these emotions that we can start to settle it. We can start to dissipate that, not from a place of trying to get rid of it because it's not helpful, but just letting it be there. The more we let it be and hold space for what's there, it's actually the space that allows these energies to flow to completion and to dissipate naturally on their own. So discernment at this stage of calling in conscious partnership is very important. It is arguably the most important skill and ability that's going to help you call in the person who is meant to be in your timeline supporting you at this time. And it's a very exciting thing. If you're needing support with that or desiring support with clarifying and understanding, feeling into what's present in terms of your authentic truth and your knowing inside of your body, I have a course called Listening to Your Body. And a lot of you have done it already, which is wonderful. But if you haven't tried it yet, you can join my membership, the Activation Archive. So Listening to Your Body is included in both the current and the deep end memberships, as well as the monthly activation, which is where we're actually focusing together as a community on this theme of calling in love. And I really encourage anyone who has been feeling the desire to be in a spacious container that can hold you while you walk through your own life as an embodiment process. From my experience as a healer and a facilitator and a coach in the past, all of those experiences have reflected back to me the importance of having space. Just literally the space itself that is filled with the divine presence that heals, that transforms, that supports, that brings truth and light and love. It's the space that does that. And having less just noise, speaking of distractions, I think that there's that delicate balance when working on something, having your focus, especially in a program of some kind, having your focus held in a space for your development, but doing it without just piling on activity and protocols and just doing to try to fill that space, when the space itself, the stillness and the rest between the intervals of the doing the work, is the most transformative power. So I designed the monthly activation with this intention in mind, that it is simple. It is one activation per month, a set of reflection questions that are optional, and then the rest is your own personal integration and or community discussion if that's desired. I share this to let you know what kind of structure and support is available inside of my container, but also for you to reflect on for the type of work that you're doing. Is it truly supporting the space that each individual sovereign being needs in order to reach their highest transformative power? I find that a lot of spaces, although they have the best intentions, there's a lot of overreach from facilitation, and the balance of doing and being isn't quite there. This isn't for everyone, I will say. Like this delicate balance of doing and being, I think, will be the most valuable for those of you who are at the stage in your journey where you've reached that stage of actually embodying or working towards embodying less doing the work and more just being, more just living your life as your embodiment process, letting your life itself and everything that takes place in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year to be your spiritual work. And yes, having supportive programs and mentors and practitioners is so helpful at various stages of that journey, but ultimately, I think reaching a point of spiritual maturation where those supports are not just like needed, but just desired. And this comes full circle back to this point about discernment. I think that for me, I'll just share that I've worked with tons of mentors, coaches, programs, healers, practitioners, being all of those things myself too. What I've seen for myself is that I've reached a point in my journey where my highest level of discernment came when I gave myself the space to trust myself first. And all of those supports, I think, like helped me during that stage of deep healing and transformation where I didn't have the tools. I didn't know how to hold space. I didn't know how to do these things. And so I needed that to be modeled to me and to be given that structure. If you want to continue cultivating this energy individually and collectively, I invite you to join our monthly activation, which again, I'm going to link in the description box below. So I'm so grateful for you and thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in today. I will talk to you again soon. Mwah.